So I feel impelled to say this because, as African Americans, we are under attack. And we've been under attack. It's just been cleverly disguised for such a long time. And for people, if white or black officers ever claim that I, as a law student, resisted arrest, that was an absolute fabrication lie that they told to get some form of benefit out of the legal system in which I already had cleverly orchestrated my freedom by knowing the law. Basically, in a nutshell, Livonia, Redford, Canton, Michigan, due to their racist organizations of Caucasian base majorities, had a pretty much a mission to withhold information from you guys, the public, to benefit it in their means, whatever they needed. So because I didn't resist, it made them look like Neanderthals, barbarians, made them look like they were breaking the law. So they had to try to put it in their reports that I resisted arrest. And I'm not the only one that this behavior have been noticed in America. It's just, with me, I'm speaking up on it, and I'm making it my business to make sure that everybody that was involved is presented for what parts they played. Like I've said before, Livonia, Michigan, Redford, Michigan, Canton, Michigan are some of the Caucasian police agencies that tend to stick together and try to cover up for each other. And Detroit, you have some Detroit officers too, and some of them are African American and other races as well. However, my point being that I went to law school and I know the benefits and what not to resist arrest, because the arguments is for courtrooms, not for the public. Because I went to law school, I know that any allegation that's been presented by anybody and a law enforcement agent is called upon to do a duty, I know in my best interest is for me to go into a courtroom and have this allegation presented into a court, so for one, everything can be documented for my business benefits and protection, and also because of the notions of civil society, because we have to be civil in our society for everything to work properly. If we don't act civil, then the design of our civil society not going to be able to work. So because I have that knowledge of law it's in my best interest, business and personal interest, for me to basically follow the law, which is whenever the officer give me a specific law-abiding, lawful order, which I do, which is if they're going to arrest me and give me an order, which is to turn around, put my hands behind my back, that's what I do. Because that person in which is part of the legal system is not the person that I need to even talk to, because they have a specific duty to do, which I have no problem with, because I know the chain of command of the law that we govern in America. So when these officers have approached me and detained me, I've never once resisted in any form. But so any reports that you have seen my name on it that said that I resisted arrest, I'm assuring all the human race that was a complete fabrication from those particular officers. And by my understanding of humanity, y'all are in danger, because if they capable of fabricate information about me, then that means they got the same ability to do the same to you, which means they are a crime. I mean, a hazard to the human race. And not to go farther than that, but to go back towards the understanding of the knowledge of law that I have, which is it's an insult when anytime I ever read or heard any of those allegations. But to show you that these are just humans and how they did me, and how they tried to corrupt through the history of dealing with these agencies, these different precincts that I had mentioned prior. I made sure that I did what I was supposed to do. And somehow they had some illegal activities that they were trying to get accomplished by trying to entrap me purposely. And because their efforts in trying to entrap me didn't work, they had to try to entrap me on another form. So I'm trying to think, actually. Oh, I got it. Tell you what happened. Here at home, my home here in Livonia, in Redford, Michigan, a judge basically ordered me out the house, my home, without me going to court, which means no due process was available. So, because that didn't work, because it was illegal, they tried to entrap me. My wife worked for the Bureau. She was involved in it, and they tried to scam with her. So, they had me on the street. I was walking down the street because I knew it wasn't it wasn't correct. How say this? It wasn't legal. The eviction wasn't legal. For one, Donald Trump had gave an executive order that you couldn't evict anyone during this time. This is one of the main reasons Donald Trump is making a big deal about the executive orders, because they evicted me from my home, and they tried to act like it wasn't nothing, like that executive order didn't mean anything. They knew about the executive order, and despite Donald Trump making the executive order, Redford, Michigan basically said, fuck Donald Trump, and this is how they gonna do it. The judge and the officers, because all parties involved knew the law, but they chose not to follow it. So because of that, I knew that they was trying to entrap me, because my wife was like, come on home anyway, come on home. When she was the one who went and tried to file all this sneaky shit. She did it because she worked for the Bureau. So her colleagues and her came up with this idea, well, we're going to get him to come back home, and we got the order, so they say that he went a PPO, so he went, not on her, on the home, which is unheard of. They put a PPO on me not to come home. Even though I didn't do anything to her physically or emotionally to directly do anything to her to hurt her legally, I didn't do anything illegally to hurt her or physically or mentally. However, she worked for the Bureau in Detroit, Michigan, and they tried to use her as a weapon to entrap me. So I was in a hard place, right between between the hard place. I was in the middle of something. I was basically invested all my stuff here in my home, so I basically had nothing. She had all the money into her account, everything. It was in my wife's name, everything, and they tried to just weed me out with the Redford Police Department and Livonia Police Department aware of all of this, and the judges. So, like I said, she told me to come back home. Come back home, baby, come back home. But I knew what she was doing. I knew she was trying to entrap me. So I was walking down the street, but my PPO paperwork that they brought and handed to me here, it never stipulated that I couldn't come on my own block, or I had to stay a certain distance away from my house. The only stipulation was I wasn't supposed to come inside my own home. But like I said, I went to law school, and I knew all of it was illegal, because they never gave me a court hearing to even attest, use my due process to even go and see what the problem was, because if it was a problem, I was supposed to at least been able to go to the courtroom and say, Judge, I either did it or I didn't. But they never gave me that opportunity, which is Redford, Michigan. And I could have got either a 30-day notice or anything that could have constituted being moral and decent and also humane, which Redford, Michigan, 17th District, chose not to do that. They particularly chose to act like criminals. They chose to disregard not only the housing laws and governing laws of the Constitution of the United States of America, but they also chose to disregard an executive order that Donald Trump had personally did. Executive order in his first term as president, of course, because now it's 2025. So, he just got back in office the other day, and he signed the orders that showed, I already know what it is. I know what it is, because Redford, Michigan purposely disregarded the executive order, and they basically said, that's why you had so many white people that was trying to go against Donald Trump at first, right? Because a lot of them stick together, like for Redford, Michigan, Livonia, Michigan, and they was trying to disregard, and I knew it was something wrong, because first time in history that white people went after other white people. I've never seen white people go after another white person like that they did Donald Trump this time of our lives. Never seen nothing like this. Never seen a group of white people go after one white person that's running for president so fierce and illegal and scamming. And that's why he retaliating. But back to the executive order that he had signed during the COVID. He had signed a bill, executive order, basically, that said you can't evict nobody during the COVID pandemic. And Rep. Michigan's basically disregarded it. So when I was walking down the street, they was watching me. They was always watching wherever I go. Rep. Michigan police. So as I was walking past the house, the police was following me because they just automatically thought I was about to come to the house. But I knew they was doing something, and I just had to figure out what exactly they was doing. So as I walked past the house, walked past my own home, because I was worried about what they was trying to do. And when they pulled up on me, a little midget lady jumped out the car. I'm not joking. Police officer, midget, dwarf, whatever you want to call her, jumped out the car, and she asked me to turn around after I had headphones on because I ain't hear her say nothing to me. But when she jumped out and I turned around and seen, oh, she messing with me. She really trying to do this because I didn't think they was going to harass me if they knew the law. So she jumped out the car and I turned around. And then she told me turn back around and put my hands behind my back, and that's what I did. As I turned around and put my hands behind my back, the driver of the police car jumped out. Some little brown hair, dark hair, Caucasian. I didn't see him jump out the car. I just felt him hit me with something and behind the head as my hands was behind my back and I was turned around the other way and my hands was behind my back like she ordered me to do, and he hit me with something. I don't know what it was. I guess I was out cold for a second or so. I don't know, but I did feel him snatching my headphones off after I don't know how long I was laying there, but because I had big headphones on, so he snatched my headphones off. And on the report, it said that I refused to get up. Well, all I could tell y'all is if I didn't get up, it's because they had hit me in the back of the head and I couldn't get up. So they dragged me to the car, and probably that's why the neighbors seen the police dragging me to the car, so they had to put that in a report that he refused to get up. I couldn't get up because the officer had hit me behind the head with something. So as I was coming to and we was pulling off, I was thanking the officers. And they didn't know why I was thanking them. I just kept thanking them. Thank you. And the reason why I was thanking them is because I knew that all that harassment and shit they was doing to me was over with, because a report had to be made about all this. Even though they went in and forged the report and fabricated the report and perjured themselves in the report, I knew it was over with. It didn't matter to me what they have done. So I end up reading and seeing in the report after all of the stuff, the bail, and I did the time well, I ain't do no time. I just had to sit into the county jails until I fought the case and won it. Until I won it, I had to fight the case. So I fought the case, and it was like a 4-part, 5-part litigation stuff. We still on one part because I haven't got through the part yet about them illegally evicting me. However, 17th District is a local court. All this stuff had to be shipped down to the circuit court. So it got bonded over, which was in my favor because I knew, for one, we was out of the white majority, Redford, Livonia, Michigan, and Canton graps, and it was taking down town Detroit, where we got multiple races that were able to see the prejudice activity. So basically, they kind of cowered out, y'all. When they got downtown, they basically cowered out, and the judge ordered me to be able to come back home. That's why I'm here, back home now in Redford, Michigan, because of the court proceedings, and the judge allowed me to come back to my home. But it's not over, because we never really addressed the fact that they evicted me from my home illegally, or the fact that in the report that the officer, the one that I thanked the officer for arresting me and jumping on me like they did, I was thanking them for it. I had no attention and I had no aggression at them, because I knew one motherfucking thing for sure: I won. And it was being documented. So I thanked them. So when they tell y'all that I was resisting, I had no reason to resist. I needed them to do at least one thing, which was arrest me on false allegations again. So no, I didn't resist arrest, but they try to use that, to have something in there. He was resisting arrest. They lied to y'all. I'm not worried about them lying to me. I already know they liars, and I know they do things for their benefits. But this is a business. Law is a business, and my name is represent my state and my bank, and the way that I'm able to feed my family and in the future based on my record on my name, or the restraints of a system that can restrict a person from being able to achieve certain goals if they have a certain rep in their names. So again, I thank the officers no, I never resisted. Ever in my life will I ever resist a police officer. As a law student, it taught me that it's in my best interest to go into a court and have a discussion about my legal rights instead of outside wrestling with any officer about anything. And besides that, I have royalties from Sports Illustrated that, worth a lot of fucking money, y'all. And it's really vital for me to keep my name a certain way. But, by the policy protectors, the police can easily be hired from agencies or business corporations, like, for instance, Sports Illustrated could, to try to fuck up my name so that it can fuck up my royalties, and they can, how this shit go. But to conclude this, wrap this up, I'm just telling y'all, It ain't no fucking way that I would ever wrestle or resist a police officer because my respect for the law, and I'm gonna be a judge. So I'll holler at you bitches later, okay? All right.